you're not walking out of this courtroom today. Either you're going to be going to prison or either you're going to be going to inpatient treatment. You're going to get drug tested today. What are the results going to be?
They will come back a positive.
Positive for what?
Methamphetamine. I just do it when I'm under stress. So I know I have a problem and I don't do it like around my children. I don't do it, every day. It's just, when I'm under stress and I was, really scared. So, and really under stress. So I don't do it when I go to work. I don't do it, every day, like I said.
I'm going to find her guilty, sentence her to.
All right, let's be real. When have you ever heard someone say they use meth just once in a while? That just doesn't add up. Meth is one of the most addictive drugs out there, and hearing someone downplay it like that raises some serious red flags. If she's not being honest, it could mean she's using drugs around her kids, and that's a big concern. Kids deserve a safe and stable home, and right now, this situation isn't looking good. Honestly, it feels like she's trying to get sympathy from the judge. Maybe I'm being too direct, but something doesn't sit right. Of course, she's innocent until proven guilty, but these kinds of stories rarely hold up. Now, let's get into today's case. A mother is in court, facing serious drug charges, possession with intent to distribute. She could be looking at 6 years in federal prison, but in front of the judge, she says she only uses drugs occasionally. Do you believe that? I'm not so sure. She sounds convincing, but I doubt the judge will be. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's jump in.
All right, we're here for sentencing today. According to the plea bargain agreement, she pled no contest to count 2 of the indictment. She applied for deferred adjudication. The state is proceeding only on count 2 according to the plea bargain agreement. Punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison, and the state is silent on the defendant's application. The court requested that the defendant's criminal history be provided to the court. There were no objections to the court receiving that from the state. Is that correct?
Correct.
And any objections to the court reviewing that?
No, Judge, of course not.
All right. The state is silent. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, of course, Ms. Torres is hoping you'll grant her application for deferred. She's in self-employed cleaning houses. She has several customers that rely on her. She has a few kids. She's just asking for the court to maybe direct her to some outpatient treatment because she believes she needs some help with this problem. And other than that, again, she's just hoping you'll grant her application.
All right. You want to raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Missy Ann Torres.
All right. So you're going to get drug tested today. What are the results going to be?
They will come back a positive.
Positive for what?
Methamphetamine.
All right. So how often are you using meth?
I only do it when I'm under stress, and I did it because I could get denied for adjudication, so
I'm sorry, what?
I could get denied the application, so I just kind of was I just do it when I'm under stress. So I know I have a problem, and I don't do it like around my children. I don't do it, every day. It's just when I'm under stress and I was really scared, so and really under stress. So I don't do it when I go to work. I don't do it, every day, like I said.
Let me be real with you. This whole story just doesn't sit right. When has anyone ever said they use meth just once in a while and actually meant it? That's really hard to believe. I've never been around that kind of stuff myself, but everything I've read or heard says meth is seriously addictive. And if she's not telling the full truth, it raises an even bigger concern. What if she's using while her kids are around? That's just not okay. Kids need a safe, stable home, and they deserve a parent who's present and responsible. Right now, it just doesn't seem like she's in the right mindset. Maybe I sound a little tough here, but honestly, it feels like she's trying to get sympathy from the judge. Sure, everyone deserves a fair trial, but let's not kid ourselves. These kinds of stories usually fall apart under pressure. What do you think? Am I being too critical, or does this all sound off to you too? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's get back into the case.
All right, so how many children do you have?
I have 3.
What are their ages?
11, 8, and 5.
And where are they now?
Two of them are with their dad and one is with my grandma.
All right. With your grandmother, so their great grandmother?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, do you help take care of your children?
Yes.
How
I-
often?
I see them every other weekend and, I don't pay child support, but I pay them. My exes and, I have my daughter. My daughter is, with me.
No, you just said your daughter is with the
Yeah,
great
but I
grandmother.
live with my grandmother, this was it.
All right.
So I help take care of, she
All right.
helps me take care of her.
Okay. So one, I don't think it's appropriate for you to be cleaning houses
Okay.
because of the nature of this offense. And two, I don't think it's appropriate for you right now to be taking care of your children.
That's why I'm asking for help, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, what?
That's why I was asking for help, Your Honor. That's why.
All right, your help is not going to be outpatient treatment if I grant this application for deferred adjudication. So you're going into custody today.
Okay.
All right. So it's just a matter of what I'm going to do with you. I will tell you the court's issue, and if you want to address this, I know the state is proceeding on count 2 of possession, but she had a lot of drugs with her.
No,
So I don't understand if you're working homes, then why do you have a scale with
Right.
you? Because that's, according to this, you had drugs, you had a scale in your purse, and there were baggies totaling 32.0 grams.
well, Your Honor, I was a heavy user back then and it was.
Oh, I tell you what, I don't think, and if I'm wrong, correct me. I don't think you were using 32 grams of meth.
It was, it was only 28.
No, you have meth here for 4.964 grams, and you also have meth for 27.459 grams. And what you pled to in count 2 was a possession 4 to 200 grams. So this is not a possession 1 to 4. So we're talking about 27 grams. And according to the stipulations, that what was found in your bag, it says, I searched her bag and inside a Paris Hilton makeup box were baggies, a scale, and crystal-like substance inside a cut vacuum sealed bag. That's from your Paris Hilton makeup bag.
Let me get this straight. She had drug baggies, a scale, and serious substances, but says she only uses when she's feeling stressed. That's a tough sell. It honestly sounds more like an excuse than the truth. It's surprising more people don't try that kind of explanation in court. It's definitely more creative than the usual, I only use occasionally, which most judges don't buy anyway. Thankfully, the judge wasn't fooled here. You could tell he saw right through it. And let's not forget, she took an oath to tell the truth in court. If she's lying, that could lead to even more problems down the line. It might be hard to prove, but still, it's not a good look. At this point, being honest would probably be her best move. All right, let's get back into the case.
So what I had, the meth was it was double bagged in a sandwich bag. So yes, ma'am, I know it was 20, but it's because that was my personal. I didn't have any other. And last time I went, they tried to only give me which was 14 grams. So I had to.
No, what I'm telling you is, they said the baggie found in Robert's pocket tested positive for meth and had a field weight of 6.12 grams.
That wasn't mine.
No. I'm not saying that was yours. So the 6.12 grams that were found in his pocket, they're saying that was his. It was in his pocket. But the baggie, which was found in Missy's purse, tested positive for meth and had a field weight of 32.09 grams. Now, mind you, what they do in the field, I already know that testing drugs in the field are not legal for court. So I'm not considering the weight and what they said in the field. I'm considering what has been given to me for laboratory reports. So this was the professionals testing it, not a presumptive. And it says 27.459 grams was the net weight of the meth that you had in your Paris Hilton bag.
Yes, Your Honor. And I will say that I used to use a whole ounce within 2 to 3 days. So I was a heavy user, and they, like I said, they tried to give me half of that the last time, and right now it's going for $250. So if I'm paying $250, I wanted the whole thing. I wanted to make sure. I'm just being honest, and I'm sorry. Excuse me for being.
No, I
Transparent.
want you to be honest and I want you to be transparent.
I'm sorry for being transparent, but it's something that I feel like I worked for my money, and I didn't want just to get gypped again. I can promise you I didn't sell anything. It was because I've been gypped many times. So I did get it. Now it was double bagged because I don't know, that's the way they gave it to me. I can't, and it is my mistake, and I'm taking full responsibility, but I wasn't selling drugs. I wouldn't, I guess I have a job, and back then I was, a heavy user where I would just do it before work, after work, and I didn't have my children in my life. Now I do have my children back in my life, and I'm trying to be a good mom. So I thank you for, giving me an inpatient program.
Well, no, I'm not saying I'm going to give you
I'm
inpatient.
sorry.
What I'm saying is that you're not walking out of this courtroom today. Either you're going to be going to prison or either you're going to be going to inpatient treatment. So it's very important that you be 100% honest with me, because I'm telling you, the state proceeded on a possession, but the amount of drugs you had and the way they were packaged, that's concerning for the court. So you're saying that you just bought a bunch of meth and you were saving it up for use?
So I would use within 2 to 3 days. That was all my personal. Like I said, they tried to sell me half of that one time, and I went back to the same person, but I said, I'm gonna weigh it myself to make sure I'm getting the right amount, because I'm an addict. I'm sorry, I am. And we're not.
So you travel with your own scale?
Well, at the time I did, because like I said, I've been gypped, and when you're an addict, that's all you think of, just how to get, make sure you're getting what you need.
Do you believe her story? Honestly, it's hard to see how it adds up. Even if someone was using drugs, most wouldn't be carrying around things like baggies and a scale. That just makes the situation much worse. Having drugs on you is already serious. But when you're also carrying items used to package and distribute them, it sends a strong message to the court. It suggests you weren't just using, you may have been planning to sell. And legally, that changes everything. You don't even have to say it. Those extra items speak for themselves. That's when charges can escalate from simple possession to something far more serious, like intent to distribute or even trafficking. What do you think? Is she just making poor choices, or could she be trying to work the system? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Let's head back to the courtroom. Her sentencing is coming up next.
And honestly, I can see where I made my mistake, but I won't. I'm being honest with you. It was my skeleton measure, so my personal, that's it. And I don't know if Robert would tell you that was my personal as well. Like, I mean, I don't want to call him or anything, you can if you want to, but he would tell you that's why I used to pick
Oh, no, I'm not going to be calling Robert, because Robert probably has a case of his own.
Right. But I'm saying Robert can tell you too, within 3 days, maybe 2 to 3 days, really, it would have been gone, and I would have been back doing it again. Now I don't. It was kind of like a stress thing. And
Where did you get your drugs to use today before you came to court?
Just an old friend. I hadn't talked to him since, and it was on Saturday when I knew it was, coming, and I guess I felt, under pressure.
Good. Can I
Yes.
say something? I think the fact that she would actually go out and do the same drugs that she's about to get sentenced for in a couple of days, I think really speaks to the fact that she has a serious addiction problem that I think only rehab can treat. And if you decide that's ISF or SATF or SAFE, we understand that, but I think she really needs treatment.
Okay. All right. This is what the court is there anything else for me to say? All right. This is what the court is going to do. I see that she hasn't been to prison before. I'm going to find her guilty, sentence her to 6 years in the prison, the therapeutic community. There's to be no contact with Robert Marble. Give her credit for any time served, and I'll retain jurisdiction.
Let me be honest. Do you think 6 years is a fair sentence in this case? I understand that drugs like these are incredibly addictive, and recovery is difficult. But even if she was involved in selling, does 6 years feel like the right amount of time? I'm honestly torn. On one hand, maybe prison will give her the time and structure she needs to reflect and possibly turn her life around. Sometimes, hitting rock bottom is what leads to real change. But on the other hand, I can't help but think about her kids. They're going to spend years growing up without their mother, and no child should have to go through that. It's heartbreaking. What do you think? Was this sentence too harsh, or was it justified? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's get back to the courtroom and see how she responds.
Okay.
And you can explain to her what that means. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. I'll tell them. So here's the thing. When I say that I'm going to retain jurisdiction, what that means is they're going to take you to prison. If you're following the rules at the prison, if you are working on yourself, because they have programs at the prison, your attorney can file a motion. It's called shock probation. Back when I was growing up, they would have scared straight programs. So shock probation is sort of a scared straight program. So hopefully when you go to prison, you will clear your mind.
Yes.
The drug use or the addiction that you have, the craving that you have will be lifted. And if you are doing what you're supposed to do at the prison, if there are no bad reports at the prison, when your attorney comes back for a request for shock probation, I will strongly consider it. So while you're at the prison, you have 180 days. That's when he needs to bring it back before me before that time period. So you're going to do 6 months. And if you are doing well, if there are no write-ups against you, then the court will strongly consider giving you probation. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So, well, I mean, these are going to be choices that you make. It's going to be completely up to you whether or not I strongly consider giving you probation. Your attorney will explain it to you further, but any programs that they have at the prison, like the therapeutic community, to address your issue, you need to take it. I know they have parenting classes at the jail. I don't know how long the transfer will be, but you need to take advantage of that. When you see people come before me and they've gone to anger management class, they've done parenting classes, they've availed themselves of everything at the jail and everything at the prison, that is what you need to do. You need to immediately sign up for it. If for some reason there's overcrowding and they don't give it to you, it would be better for you to have signed up for it than to just throw up your hands and say, I'm not trying. Do you understand?
Yes.
And next time, if you have a case before any judge, don't use before coming to court. You understand? But I do appreciate your honesty, but you're going to have to get your life in order. Otherwise, children is going to be without their mom. You understand? All right. Good luck to you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Now that the judge has officially handed down the sentence, I honestly think this was the right call. Judge Boy is known for being fair, and this decision feels pretty balanced. Even with the defendant lying straight to her face, she'll get 6 months off for good behavior, so there's a chance she'll be out a bit early. That's probably a small win in her eyes, especially considering she was caught red-handed. But that's the thing about addiction. It leads people to make terrible choices, even when they know they're digging themselves deeper. It's heartbreaking, but also a reality for many. Still, I genuinely hope this is the turning point she needs. Sometimes a tough sentence and some time to reflect can be exactly what helps someone change. If not for herself, then hopefully for her kids. All right, I'm wrapping it up here. Let me know in the comments. Was this sentence fair, too harsh, or not enough? I always enjoy reading your takes. And if you liked this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more courtroom content. Drop your suggestions for other cases you want me to cover, and I'll check them out. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.